So, so again, what we initially did was just factoring trinomials which started with x squared, which means the a in front of the a in like a typical trinomial is this: a x squared plus bx plus c. So factoring them when a is 1 is very, very simple, right? You find factors of the last number that add up to the middle number, right? But when a is not 1, it becomes much more complicated. Well, maybe not much more, but it definitely becomes more complicated because you have to actually FOIL them out until you find the answer, right? Now, as a kid, I hated that. I hated that. It's like it took, I would sometimes try all these things. Sometimes they have tons of options. Like tons of options. Like what if I gave you something like this? 12x squared plus, 26x plus, plus 24. Oh my gosh, 24. Holy, well actually I shouldn't. Let's make that 27 so I can't factor out a 12 or anything. Okay. Yeah, for 2.
There's a website and it's like dedicated to factors and the factors like 2, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Seriously? Really? Factors of every number? Can you email it to me sometime?
Yeah.
That would be really cool. That would be awesome. But think about it. Look at our possibilities. We not only do we have factors of 24, which are 1 times 24 or 24 times 1, but we also have 2 times 12 or 12 times 2, or we have 3 times 4 or 4 times 3, or we have 6 times 2 or 2 times 6, right? That's a lot. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 possibilities, right? And then over here, what do I have? I have either, I could do 12x times x, or I could do 6x times 2x, or I could do 4x, or I could do 4x times 3x, right? That would all give me 12x.
But how did you give 6 times 2?
Sorry.
Doing 2012. And then you start doing
Oops.
12.
I started doing 12, didn't I? Sorry. Lovely. I love it when I do this on a video. I just love it. It just makes me feel so good. 3 times 8, and am I right? 8 times 3, or 4 times 6, and 6 times 4, right? But I still have 8 possibilities there. So notice, I would have to try. It would be really nice if I would guess right the first time, right, or the first few times. But there's a chance that I would guess wrong until the very last possibility. There's a chance that I would go through 8 of these over here, so that's 8, and then another 8 of these, so that's 16, and then another 8 of these, that's 24. So I might have to go through 24 of them to find the answer. I don't like that, right? Now you can start to see patterns a little bit, and you can start to make educated guesses instead of just randomly putting numbers in. And then it gets faster. But the rule of thumb is with these, I'm going to eventually teach you a method in terms of once we actually put these in an equation. I'm going to teach you methods that you can solve them quite easily. Maybe not quite easily, but if you can't solve these, if you can't factor them within 30 seconds, then you just jump to the other method, right? But for today, what I want to do is I want to just show you this little trick that is really cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't always use it, but I often use it because it is so, I think it's very simple, but you have to remember how to do it. So we'll start with the problem. We'll start with 2x squared. I'm just using one that we've already done. 2x squared plus 9x plus 10. That's not that hard of a one to factor, but I'm just starting on simple ones to show you. The way you do this is Gary's terrific trick. So number 1, actually, maybe I wrote this out. I think I did. Oh, I did. Look at that. Cool. So so I first of all, okay, so Gary's terrific trick. Gary's trick. Okay, so 1, multiply
2.
A and C. Multiply A and C. So you should want to write this down in your notes. It's useful.
Okay.
It is useful. Multiply A and C. So what is A times C? 2 times 10. Remember, this is A, this is B, and this is C. So 2 times 10 is 20. So I write 20 up here and I put a circle around.
Multiply A times C.
A times C. A times C. A times C. Right? Yes? Okay, so I get a 20. Now I ask myself, kind of like before when we first learned to factor trinomials when it was 1x squared. I ask myself, what are factors of 20 that add up to 9? Factors of 20. So I'm not doing factors of 10, I'm doing factors of 20 that add up to 9. So what? 5 and 4, right? So 5 times 4. Okay, so now this is the key. I am now going to rewrite this. Right? I'm going to rewrite this. And instead of having 9x here, I'm going to split it up into 5x and 4x. Or in this case, I might choose 4x and 5x because I see 4 would go really well with the 2 and 5 would go really well with the 10. But it works either way. I'll show you. But watch. So I'm going to rewrite this. 2x squared plus, I'll do 4x plus 5x. Do you guys agree with me that 4x plus 5x equals 9x?
Yep.
That should equal that. Okay. And then plus 10. Okay? So those really should be identical. I just split up the middle term into 2 things. So how many terms do I have now? And how do you factor a 4-term equation or expression? Factor by what? By grouping. So we're going to group it. So we're going to go boom, boom,
That was
boom, boom. Right? So you guys know how to do this. What's my greatest common factor out of these 2? Somebody. Jason. Greatest common factor out of these. 2x. So, and then I parenthesis, I get an x here, plus 2. Am I right?
Yes.
All right, and then plus, all right, what's my greatest common factor here? 5. Factored out, I get an x plus 2. Okay, now what do? I factor by, factor out the blobs, right?
Oh my God.
So there's the blobs. So suddenly I've got x plus 2 times 2x plus 5, and I'm done.
Yay.
Isn't that cool? So what we did, let's review our method. We multiply A times C, okay? And then 2, find factors of AC, right? A times C, that add to middle, add to middle number, right? Right? And then 3, rewrite expression. Rewrite expression with middle term, with 2 middle terms. Can I say that? I don't know how to say this quickly and easily, but I think you get the idea. And then 4, factor by grouping. It really is useful. So let's try another one. Can I erase this one? We'll do like 3 of them, and then I'm going to give you the homework so you can practice. Okay? I want you all to try them because it is a really awesome tool. But if you find that you don't like it eventually and you want to go back to the other method, that's fine, because you will end up using both methods. You know what I mean? Even if you use this one, you will also sometimes just factor by FOILing, right? So let's try another one. Let's try 5x squared plus 31x plus 6. Okay, so we're going to use our method. Multiply a times c. 5 times 6 is 30. Circle it to remember that that's it. Factors of 30 that add up to 31.
30 and 1.
30 and 1, right? 30 times 1, right?
1 times 30.
So now I'm going to rewrite this as a 4 term. I'm going to take that and turn it into these two, 30x plus 1x. So I'll do 5x squared plus 30x plus 1x plus 6. Now what do I do? 4 terms, factor by grouping. So I'm going to group these two and group these two. 5x, x plus 6, right? Plus 1 times x plus 6. So my final answer is x plus 6 times 5x plus 1. No guesswork at all. No guesswork. You just find it. Right? I'm sorry. Did you see the value of this, you guys?
I totally see the value.
Thank you, Mia, for sharing your thoughts. That's good.
I see the value of it. See the value I do.
Yoda. Can I erase this? Can I erase this gobbledygook? I'm going to erase it, since nobody said anything. All right, now we're going to try that hard one. Let's try that one. Where was it? Where was the one that had possibilities? Wasn't there one that was harder?
Spiders?
Oh, this number 5. I think it was. Let's try this one. 6x squared plus x minus 2. All right. So, here we go. A times negative 2 is, 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. So I have to have factors of negative 12 that add up to positive 1.
4 and 3.
So positive 4 times negative 3, right? So I'm going to rewrite this. 6x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 2, right? So factor by grouping, because I have 4 terms. 4x, and then, you're right, 2x, thank you so much, 2x, 3x plus 2, am I right? And then, oh, this minus, remember that? When the minus is connecting the groups, that's going to screw things up as soon as I put parentheses. So it's just going to be 1, 3x, now negative times positive would equal negative, so that's going to change there, plus 2. There we go. So there we go. I have my blobs again. So 3x plus 2 times 2x minus 1, and we're done. Very, very quick. Yes, Lila.
If you switch the 2 middle numbers,
Oh, thank you for saying that. That's
then the blob will be the other.
Exactly. Brilliant. Thank you for saying that. That is awesome. If you now that is a question that people do. You know, when I first did this, I thought, oh no, I've got to make sure I put these in the right order. It doesn't matter. If you flip it around and put minus 3x plus 4x, you're just going to have the 2x minus 1 inside the blobs, like Lila was saying. And you're going to have 3x plus 2 here, right? So it makes no difference which order you put them in. No difference. It's awesome. It works. It really works. Unless it's unfactorable. Okay? And we'll get there. Right now, I'm only giving you ones that can be factored. I hope. That's my intention. I might screw up every now and then. All right, so this is it. Just more practice. Just practice the terrific trick idea, okay?
Yeah.
Hurry up eating my popsicle.
Shiny right here.